Hello, everyone. We are going to do a shadow work oracle reading, right? So everybody kind of shines away from the shadow. What do we need to do? Oh no, I don't want to face my shadow, but it's important to face our shadows because sometimes they're not as scary as we make them out to be, right? And doing our shadow work helps us to open our heart more to alignment. It helps us to bring in what we truly do want. And sometimes you can't bring in what you truly want if you're not doing the work to make it happen. Okay, so let's take a look at our shadow spread. Okay, so our shadow work today is obsession. Release the chains of thought and free your mind. Whatever it is that you find that obsession, um, you are obsessing about, this is uh, a message for you to open up your mind and see why. Ask yourself why. Why do you obsess over this? Why is this important to you? Why is this holding energy to over top of your head, right? Sometimes you might be obsessed because it comes from childhood. It might come from a trauma that you've experienced, right? It might come from an unresolved healing. It might come from a fear. Sometimes you might be obsessed with something because maybe you can't control certain things in your life, but you can control this. So since you can control this, you become obsessed with it, right? I like it for sometimes like people become obsessed with cleaning because maybe cleaning is their way of controlling their emotions. So they just clean, 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 right? But then they become obsessed with everything being clean, right? So this is reminding you to look at your obsessions. What are you obsessed with in life? Nothing should own you. Okay? When our life here is done and we are ready to transform into spirit again, we can't take anything with us, right? So you're being asked in the shadow work to heal the things within you because the only thing you can take with you is what you have transformed, what you have done, what you have become, your knowledge, the skills that you've learned being here. What did Earth at this particular time teach you? How did it grow your spirit? How did it awaken you? When you are obsessed with something, why? Why are you obsessed with it? If you're obsessed with getting a certain car, why? Why do you want that certain car? What does it mean in your life? If you're obsessed with material things, well, why are you obsessed with material things? Did you lack having things when you were younger, right? Why are you obsessed with money? Do you like having the ability to buy things and not feel poor, right? So like there's a bottom line to your obsessions. So this card is telling you to look at why you are having those obsessions so that you can identify the why, set with the energy, and then release it. That way, you are not controlled by your obsessions. Because if think about it, if you are obsessed with keeping something clean, right? Every time it gets dirty, what do? You gotta go clean it because it's dirty, and you're obsessed with it being clean. Right? So that's an obsession. That obsession controls you. It controls your energy. You might get upset, you might get angry, you might get overwhelmed because you constantly have to clean and you really wanted to watch this movie, you can't watch the movie if you're realizing this is dirty and this needs clean, right? So that's like what your message is saying, okay? Face your oh my goodness, obsessions, and then I'm sorry, I've been teaching all day online, and so like sometimes my English goes out the door. I apologize. Um, so basically, it's not the obsession that's the issue with the shadow work. It's understanding the why it's there. Okay, the obsession is a choice. The why might not be. Because if you don't know why, then you're not able to make the choice of whether or not you choose to hold on to that obsession, right? Your second one is envy. So turn green eyes into a force for self improvement and inspiration. All right, so do not envy others because when you are envying somebody else, you are taking the energy that you could be using for yourself and you're just throwing it away. When you envy something, oh, that chocolate bar looks so good. I envy them because they're able to eat chocolate. All right, you're just throwing that away. But if you say, wow, I really love the fact that they can eat chocolate. I want to eat chocolate, but I'm not allowed to eat chocolate. So what could I eat instead of chocolate? Let me do my research. Let me figure out what I can do. That is like what creates change, right? So, like if somebody can't do something and they just sit around envying somebody that can, then they're going to be stuck in that energy of I wish, I wish, I wish. Must be nice, must be nice. But if you look at the situation, acknowledge how you're feeling about the situation, and then work to change that emotion within you so that you can surpass that feeling that you feel when you see something else, then you are creating, right? You're creating something. Think about everything that we have that's created. You know, that a lot of that comes from envy. A lot of it is it wasn't like an envy energy that turned bad, but it was like an envy energy that was good. People, oh, I that looks amazing. That looks delicious. Oh, I think I'm going to try this and I'm going to add this. Like it's a transformation, right? So this shadow card is reminding you to look at the areas where you envy and see why you envy and how are you using that? How are you using that in your life? Are you allowing it to just cause you to be stuck? Are you allowing it to not give you the my dog are you allowing it to not give you the the energy that you need to transform things basically? Okay, that's what that is saying to you. So like envy is a form of transformation when it's used correctly. We all have a form of envy. We all have a form of, oh, look how cute, oh, that's so cute. But it's there's good envy and there's bad envy. So this is telling you to look at your envy and make sure you're using it in a way that empowers you and supports you. Okay. Your next one is shame. So embrace your flaws. They are a part of your unique story, right? So when you have shame about your past or the things that you've done, right? It uh you're in that dark closed off energy. And when you have that shame, people can use that against you. When somebody looks at you, you might think that they're looking at you out of shame, right? But they might just be looking at you because, maybe your hair is messed up or something and they just caught their attention. But in your mind, you could believe that that person is ashamed of you or that person is looking down upon you or that person is judging you, right? So this shadow work card is reminding you that it's important for you to to go to the root of the shame. Where is the shame that you are feeling? Where does it come from? Does it come from your parents? Does it come from your teachers? Does it come from your friends, siblings, past experiences, failures? What causes you to hold on to this shame? Were you embarrassed? Did somebody make you feel did somebody use you to like get a laugh kind of situation? How did that energy grow claws into you, right? What have you been doing that has allowed that energy to hold you back, right? And this shame, how are you using it? Are you using it to keep you down low so that you keep creating the same mistakes, right? Because sometimes if you are ashamed of yourself, you don't see yourself. in a loving way, and therefore you just keep sabotaging yourself and sabotaging yourself and sabotaging yourself. And so, like, this shame card is a way of reminding you that you need to love yourself more. You need to forgive yourself. Nobody is perfect. We've all made it mistakes. We've all been through experiences that have made us into who we are. We've all taken roads that we may have not even we may not even understand why we even traveled down that road, but in the end they should be teaching lessons for us. They should teach us something about ourselves, something about our choices, something about our heart, something about our past, something about our future, something about who we truly are, who we truly don't want to be. Like, it should be a teaching. Anytime we do anything that creates shame, we need to forgive ourselves, we need to love ourselves, and we need to transform that energy, right? And make sure we move out of it, make sure we move in a way that elevates us, that empowers us, and grows us. Okay. So this card is not telling you to look at your shame and feel shame and to feel bad about yourself. This card is saying you need to let this energy go. It's not serving your highest good. You need to look at it. You need to analyze it. You need to understand why it's there. And you need to love it, transform it, embrace it, and let it go so that you can choose better for yourself. You deserve better, right? But you're not going to be able to choose better until you have that self-love within you to make those right decisions to choose better, right? So as long as you have shame, there's always going to be a part of you that feels like you're not worthy. And so that healing needs to happen so that you realize you are worthy. And neglect. So this one here, to lend to your inner garden and it will tend to your inner garden and it will flourish. So things that you are neglecting, right? Face the things that you are neglecting. This could be self-love. Again, this could be self-healing. This could be taking time to honor your space, yourself, um, the things that you want to see happen in your life. When you neglect yourself, you eventually fall apart, just like this robot here, right? See how it's starting to tarnish? The weather is starting to get the best of it. It doesn't look like it's new anymore, right? And eventually it won't be worth anything, right? So you don't want to get to that point. You need to stop neglecting yourself. You need to love yourself. You need to heal yourself. You need to see yourself as the divine sees you. You're here for a purpose, and it's not to be stuck in this lower energy. It's not to pick decisions that don't make you happy. It's not to be stuck in a situation that you deserve better from, right? This is telling you to take the time to love yourself, take the time to grow, take the time to transform, take the time to see yourself. Set and look at yourself in a mirror and just really set with yourself. Maybe you're keeping yourself too busy to the point where you don't have to deal with any of this because you're busy, 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 busy. But here's the thing: one day, the universe is going to knock you down, whether it's in sickness, whether it's in health, whether it's in old age, whatever. And then eventually, all of this is going to be staring at you in the face all at once, right? So take this opportunity to stop and look at your shadows. You can work through them little by little by little. Okay, grace is a beautiful thing. Offer it to yourself. Okay, you are not expected to walk through this life perfect. If you were perfect, there would be no reason for you to be here. Earth is all about experiences, learning, unlearning, creating. So you need to not see yourself as unworthy and less than, but instead see yourself as my life is valuable. What do I want to do with it? How do I want to enjoy it? What do I want to be? What is my purpose? Right? And then step into that by healing your shadows each step of the way. And letting go of control. By letting go of the illusion of control, we open ourselves to genuine freedom. Yeah, this comes in again with the control issues. I feel like it is so important to be aware of what you allow to control you, because this is a great card that came out at the end, right? Because when you neglect yourself, you're allowing certain things to control you because you're not truly honoring your true self with your true heart. When you feel shame, you're allowing shame to control you. When you feel envy and you feel it in a negative way, in a resentful way, you're allowing that emotion to control you. When you're obsessed with something and you're allowing that obsession to get the best of you, you're allowing the situation, the emotions to control you. So everything here comes back to how you choose to live your life and what you choose to allow to control your decisions, your thoughts, your patterns, and your future. Okay? It's everything is up to you. And can you make this change? Absolutely. You have the skills and the ability to rise above this situation in so many ways. Okay? So many ways. And you have the ability to see things on a totally different um, perspective when you start to shift this negative energy. When you start to shift this negative energy, you're going to love yourself so much more. You're going to feel yourself shifting to where you're picking better company, you're picking better friends, you're picking better decisions when it comes to what you want to do about yourself, your life, your body. You know, and and you're just you're bringing a better energy, not just to your life but to everything that you touch. So let's not end this with such a negative, well, such a negative message. um let's pull some cards to give you some positive energy. Okay, this is from Work Your Light Oracle. Okay, so let's just see how you can transform this. So we have Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yeah, some of this trauma could come from things that you don't even realize that's connected to your past, you know, to your past relationships, to your past spiritual DNA. A lot of times they said that a lot of us we carry awareness of what has happened to our ancestors, right? We carry that within us, and we didn't go through it, but our ancestors did, and therefore we felt it. And it makes sense because think about an animal, right? When an animal is in a situation, it will often learn to adapt, and the next generation that that animal has, it might be able to be more resilient to that certain situation. It might have had adaptations that helps it to survive, right? So it makes sense that if an animal that has been through this, and this, can change into this so that it prevents future situations, then why could we not carry ancestral trauma as well, right? So that's why so many people are working on healing themselves, because when you heal yourself, you're healing your ancestral energy as well. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries, right? Are you boundaries with yourself? How do you talk to yourself? How do you treat yourself? How do you love yourself? Do you love yourself, or do you make fun of yourself, put yourself down? Do you not give yourself the love that you deserve? Do you set boundaries but then let people walk all over you? Right? That's important because that has a lot to do with your self-esteem. That has a lot to do with your ability to face your shadows. If your self-esteem is low, your shadows are going to get the best of you, right? So boundaries are important. Start working on your self-esteem and your self-love. Set boundaries and don't be afraid to make those boundaries stick, okay? Protection. Call back your power. Cut the cords. Soul retrieval. Yeah. Call back your power. Ask for your power. Ask for for your power to come back to you. Ask to step into your true divine self, to have your true love within you. And you can say things like, I release any and all energies that are not my own. I lovingly call back all of my own energies. I lovingly step back into my own power. I reclaim what is rightfully mine. I reclaim what is rightfully mine. Right? You have the power to do that. You have the right to do that. Okay? Everything that you've been through should not keep you down. It should elevate you. It should grow you. Okay? You should grow from your mistakes, from your shadows. So trust yourself to rise up. Trust yourself to become who you're truly meant to be. And do that by facing anything that you know needs to be worked on. I hope this has helped you. Thank you for being here, and I wish you the best. You can do this. Let me know in the comments what you've been working on, if any of this resonates with you, what you're going to take from this, how you're going to start working on yourself. I'd love to know. Check back with me in some future readings and let me know how you've been able to use this reading to empower you. I've done it. I know other people that's done it, and you can do it. Okay, you can make this happen. All right. Thanks for being here, and I will see you in the next reading. Have a great day, evening, wherever you are. Bye.